End of September solar and energy stats 2021. Nothing much changed in the system in September, but we still are not using any of the electric heating systems. Moving on to the stats for September, we generated 650 kilowatt hours. The lowest day's generation was 6 kilowatt hours and a high of 37.8 kilowatt hours, which gives a daily average of 21.7 kilowatt hours. And that 21.7 kilowatt hours may have been enough not to pull from the grid if we had continuous 20 kilowatt hours a day. And we didn't quite make that. We pulled 355 kilowatt hours from the grid. 30% of that went to the Powerwall and 70% of that went directly to the home. And the home usage was 964 kilowatt hours. One day we pulled a massive 60.7 kilowatt hours, and that would have been due down to charging the car mainly. And we pulled 291.4 kilowatt hours from the Powerwall, which gave us an average of pulling 9.7 kilowatt hours over the month of September. We were 71% self-powered in September, and during peak times we were 50% powered by the solar directly and 50% from the Powerwall. During off-peak we were 94% grid, we pulled from the grid, and 6% of the time was powered from the Powerwall, and that's at a cost of 5 pence per kilowatt hour, the off-peak. Our solar offset was 67% of our home usage. And when we compare what we generated in September compared with other Septembers, our original inverter produced 331 kilowatt hours, which is about average when you look back through the history. And our new system on the second inverter produced 332 kilowatt hours. So that's a total of 654 kilowatt hours from the inverter data. We added 103 kilowatt hours of excess solar into the hot water tank. And I've been looking at where the 1048 kilowatt hours of energy that we've generated and pulled from the grid has been going. And the fridge freezer used 3% of the power we generated and pulled from the grid. 8% went for washing and drying clothes. 4% went on cooking, and that's the oven, the toaster and the kettle. There was nothing from the heating, that hasn't kicked in yet. The car charging, and that was from solar and the grid, was a massive 25% of the energy we used. The grid export was 4%. The gaming consoles used 3%. The hot water used 20%, and which leaves 40% for other general use around the house. We travelled a total of 818 miles in the cars. Our averages for September was 6.7 pence per kilowatt hour from what we drew from the grid, and that's all these numbers include VAT and daily charge. And when you include what we generated from the solar, our averages came down to 2.5 pence per kilowatt hour. Our yearly averages up until September was £4.49 per kilowatt hour drawn from the grid, but the averages when you include what we generated brings the average price down to 4.1 pence per kilowatt hour. And finally, to summarise, up until the end of September of 2021, we've had 83 days of grid-free living, and we've travelled 6,976 miles. We've imported 7,066 kilowatt hours. We've generated from the solar 5,146 kilowatt hours, which gives a total of 12,211 kilowatt hours, or 12.2 megawatts, at a cost of £643.67. Our gas costs have been £58.93, which has given us a total utility cost of £708.42, including any VAT and daily charges. We've had 3 FIT payments totalling £1,673.11, which gives a balance for the year up until the end of September 2021 of minus £964.69, or £964.69 in credit for the year. As usual, thanks for watching, and if you've got any comments or questions, please add it to the section below, and please like and subscribe. I'll leave you with the daily data from September 2021.